I'm the father of 3 boys, 2 of whom have type 1 diabetes. My mom has type 1 diabetes and my wife's sister has type 1 diabetes. Hope on Two Wheels was created because I did my first JDRF Ride to Cure Diabetes in September 2011. I did the Lake Tahoe Ride to Cure, and it was an experience that really changed my life. I thought to myself, I have to do something that will call attention to this thing called JDRF Ride to Cure. If I did something that was newsworthy, if I did something that people would look, whether it was on the internet or just word of mouth or through an email blast, would say, holy cow, that's really cool. And I started to think about what that could be. I was actually with a group of people, and someone said, well, why don't you do a ride that has sort of purpose at the beginning and the end, rather than just riding for 24 straight hours? Molly Busby, who's the executive director of Riding on Insulin, did the JDRF Ride to Cure in Death Valley. Apparently, Hope on Two Wheels was all the buzz at the Death Valley ride, and essentially the email came from Molly, which simply said, how do I get involved with this? So I called her back. We had a long discussion about what she wanted to do, what Riding on Insulin was, what we wanted to do with Hope on Two Wheels, and our missions mesh. Our motto this year, Connecting Kids to Hope, fits so well with what Molly and Sean are doing from Riding on Insulin. It just made a whole lot of sense. It's all about empowering kids. We want kids to know that just because they have this disease called type 1 diabetes does not mean that it needs to control their life.
If you give them something to focus on other than type 1 diabetes, whether it be cycling or running or any other kind of activity, whether it's sports or something to engage in, then diabetes only becomes a small mechanism which they have to be successful at so that they can be successful at something else. Bringing a very strong and determined group of people together to focus on one mission is empowering. It's empowering to the individuals, it's empowering as a group, it's incredibly rewarding seeing them take their experience out into their own lives and talk about it and share it, and it's incredible to watch the change that happens to people.
Leg down, 11 to go. We are 1/10 of a mile away from mile number 23, and everyone who has ridden a JDRF ride in the past knows that we ride that mile in silence to remember people like Jesse Alswager, whose mom Michelle is riding with us today, and everyone else who's been impacted by type 1 diabetes.
Not everybody understands what you go through living with type 1 on a day-to-day basis, hour-to-hour basis, minute-to-minute. What's your blood sugar? How is the meal you just ate affecting your blood sugar? That constant focus is never ending. It's a constant hyper-awareness. The challenges are inspiring young individuals with type 1 diabetes to live successfully with the disease. It is possible, it's tough, but it is possible.
We need people to know about this. We still need money for research. We still need a cure for this disease. And in order to accomplish that, we need our society to understand the challenges that kids with type 1 diabetes have and the fact that they grow up to be adults with type 1 diabetes. I really want people to know about those things so that they'll help us raise the money that we need to raise in order to direct funds towards research for a cure and for improved treatments and therapies until a cure is found.